In a world that often measures worth by the number of connections one has, the Stoics' choice to have few friends might seem like a path to isolation. But is this the full story? Or is there a deeper, perhaps more enriching truth to uncover? Why do Stoics choose such a solitary path? And what can we learn from their approach to relationships? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that emphasizes control over one's emotions and a focus on personal ethics, teaches that true fulfillment comes from within. Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, once noted, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This perspective challenges our modern fixation on social breadth over depth. How often do you find yourself surrounded by people yet feeling unfulfilled? Stoics argue that the quality of friendships, not the quantity, genuinely enriches our lives. They prioritize meaningful interactions, valuing relationships that deepen their understanding and foster mutual growth. In our Stoic journey towards self-improvement, we will explore together how Stoicism provides profound insights into why a smaller circle of friends is not a limitation, but a strategic choice for a more focused and fulfilling life. Could embracing some of these Stoic principles enlighten your own views on friendship and personal peace? If you're ready to embark on this meaningful journey, comment "ready" to signal your willingness to delve into the timeless teachings of Stoic philosophy. Reason number 1. They are not interested in relationships. Stoics approach relationships differently, not out of disdain, but from a deep sense of self-sufficiency. This philosophical stance stems from Stoicism, which teaches that personal virtue and inner tranquility are more valuable than external connections. Why might Stoics choose solitude over socializing? Consider Seneca's words, "He who is brave is free." This bravery refers to emotional independence, a key Stoic value. In a world dominated by social media, where people often measure their worth by followers and likes, Stoics stand apart. They seek fulfillment from within, making them less dependent on superficial interactions. Could we benefit from such a perspective? Imagine someone living off the grid in a self-sustaining community. Their interactions are fewer, but more meaningful, echoing the Stoic preference for quality over quantity in relationships. Stoics carefully select their social engagements, choosing those that contribute positively to their life and avoiding those that might disturb their inner peace. This selective approach is often misunderstood as loneliness, but it is actually a form of emotional strength and independence. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This statement encourages us to find happiness within rather than through external affiliations. Stoics might appear to have few friends, but those they do have are deeply meaningful. What can we learn from this Stoic virtue? By valuing our own company and seeking self-contentment, we can cultivate relationships that truly matter, reducing the emotional clutter caused by less meaningful interactions. Adopting this Stoic principle could lead us to live more intentionally, focusing on relationships that enrich our lives rather than simply increasing their number. This perspective not only frees us from the social pressures of quantity, but also enhances the quality of our personal connections. Reason number 2. They can see through people. Have you ever met someone and almost immediately sensed their true intentions? This profound insight is a common trait among Stoics, who cultivate a keen understanding of human nature through their philosophy. This understanding enables them to discern genuine motives, often leading them to form fewer but more meaningful relationships. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on virtue and inner tranquility, teaches its followers to observe rather than react. Marcus Aurelius, a revered Stoic emperor, advised, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This mindset encourages Stoics to look beyond surface interactions and perceive the deeper motivations of others. It's not about being cynical, but about seeking authenticity in one's connections. Imagine a scenario in a professional setting where a Stoic leader must choose their team members or business partners. Rather than being swayed by charming rhetoric, they would assess potential collaborators based on alignment with core values and integrity. This discernment can seem like aloofness, but it is actually a protective measure to maintain the Stoics' peace of mind and focus on meaningful engagements. This ability to see through people often results in Stoics having fewer friends. They choose companions who share a similar depth of character and sincerity, avoiding those who engage in pretense or superficiality. Do you value quality over quantity in your relationships? How do you determine the authenticity of those you meet? In reflecting on this Stoic trait, what can we learn about our own social interactions? Perhaps we can adopt a portion of this discernment to enhance our personal and professional lives. I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Have you ever experienced a moment when understanding someone's deeper motives significantly influenced your relationship with them? Let's explore how this Stoic insight could transform our approach to relationships. Before getting to the third reason, I want to ask you, in your opinion, are other people's thoughts about you important? Or is it unnecessary to prove your worth to others? We often invest so much energy into managing perceptions that we forget that these perceptions do not define the quality of our lives. Stoics, adhering to principles of self-sufficiency and internal validation, operate quite differently, and that is also the third reason why Stoics have few or no friends. Reason number 3. They don't care about what anyone thinks of them and don't need to prove their worth. Stoicism asserts that our true value comes from our own judgments and moral integrity, not from the accolades or criticisms of others. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, advised, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This philosophy encourages individuals to focus on their responses and virtues rather than external validation. Take the example of Keanu Reeves, an actor known for his understated lifestyle amidst Hollywood's glare. Despite his celebrity status, Reeves is celebrated for his humility and detachment from materialistic lifestyles, embodying Stoic ideals by focusing on personal values over public opinion. His indifference to fame and fortune illustrates a modern reflection of Stoic principles, prioritizing personal contentment over societal judgment. This Stoic disregard for external opinions can sometimes be seen as detachment, but it is actually a deep-seated recognition of one's inherent worth. Have you ever experienced a moment when you felt true to yourself, regardless of external approval? How liberating was that realization? Stoics choose their companions based on mutual respect and shared values, rather than external validation. They interact with those who understand and appreciate their authentic selves. This approach might limit their social circle, but it ensures that their relationships are meaningful and fulfilling. Understanding this about Stoics, do you see how their selective nature in friendships is not about being unfriendly, but about being true to themselves? Now, reflect on how embracing a similar mindset might change your own social interactions and sense of self-worth. Reason number 4. They are not afraid of missing out. Have you ever felt the anxiety of missing out on a social event or trend? This common fear, widely known as FOMO, fear of missing out, often drives people to stretch themselves thin socially. However, Stoics navigate life differently, embodying a mindset that frees them from the tyranny of FOMO. Stoicism teaches that peace comes from within, not from external experiences or possessions. Seneca, a notable Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This perspective helps Stoics to be content with what they have and where they are, without succumbing to the societal pressure to always be involved. Consider the story of Diogenes, the Greek philosopher who famously lived in a large ceramic jar and rejected societal norms. When Alexander the Great offered to grant him any wish, Diogenes simply asked him to move a little and not block the sun. This anecdote exemplifies the Stoic virtue of self-sufficiency and indifference to external status or possessions, which, in modern terms, translates to not fearing missing out on what is considered popular or essential by societal standards. Stoics' lack of fear of missing out stems from their deep sense of contentment and focus on self-mastery. They engage in activities and relationships that truly align with their values and bring them genuine joy rather than following the crowd. From this Stoic principle, we learn the value of quality over quantity in relationships. Stoics teach us that not succumbing to the pressure of being everywhere and involved in everything allows for deeper, more meaningful connections. This selective engagement ensures that their social interactions are not just numerous, but enriching and aligned with personal growth and true happiness. Reflect on how adopting this Stoic indifference to FOMO might enhance the quality of your own relationships. Reason number 5. They are mysterious and elusive. The more one judges, the less one loves. This poignant observation by the French novelist and playwright Honoré de Balzac captures the essence of why Stoics might seem mysterious and elusive. Stoics often exhibit a quiet demeanor that, while it may not seek to captivate, indeed intrigues those around them. They prefer to observe and listen, revealing their thoughts sparingly and with consideration. Consider the persona of Tilda Swinton, an actress renowned for her enigmatic presence both on and off-screen. Swinton's selective public appearances and thoughtful interviews paint her as a modern-day Stoic, embodying the philosophy's principles of measured speech and deliberate action. Her choice to maintain a private life in an era of celebrity oversharing enhances her allure and maintains her mystery. Stoics, like Swinton, navigate social interactions carefully, engaging only when meaningful. This can make their circles smaller, but significantly more profound. Does the idea of fewer but richer relationships appeal to you? Their elusiveness is not about secrecy, but about valuing quality in interaction. They speak when they have something worthwhile to say, not just to fill the silence. How do you value the balance between speaking your mind and holding your peace? Reflect on this. Could adopting a bit of Stoic reserve enhance the quality of your relationships, making them more about substance than spectacle? I invite you to share your views in the comments below. Do you think there's strength in silence, and could a touch of mystery improve your personal connections? The Stoics' mysterious nature teaches us that sometimes the most powerful presence is one that speaks only when it truly has something to say. Reason number 6. They always observe when they are in a new environment. Be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary, and in a few words. These words from Epictetus highlight a key Stoic behavior: observation before action. Stoics are renowned for their thoughtful presence, particularly in unfamiliar settings where they prefer to listen and understand the dynamics before engaging. This deliberate observation can make them appear reserved or detached, impacting their social circle. Imagine a corporate strategist entering a new company. Rather than immediately imposing new rules or ideas, they spend time understanding the existing workflow and employee interactions. This method not only helps in making informed decisions, but also in gaining respect and trust from new colleagues. Similarly, Stoics use observation as a tool to navigate new environments wisely and effectively. This approach is rooted in the desire to respond rather than react, a fundamental Stoic practice. By observing first, Stoics ensure that their actions are based on rational understanding rather than emotional impulses. How often do you find yourself reacting immediately in new situations rather than taking a moment to assess the environment? Stoics' tendency to observe rather than dive right into new friendships or networks is often why they might have fewer friends. They seek meaningful connections that are thoughtful and intentional, rather than numerous superficial relationships. Dear friends, have you received the extremely valuable message that the Stoics want to convey to you? This Stoic habit teaches us about the value of quality over quantity in relationships. By applying a more discerning, thoughtful approach to new environments and potential friendships, we can build deeper, more meaningful connections that are not only based on genuine understanding, but are also more fulfilling and enduring. Reflect on how adopting this Stoic practice might transform your social interactions, focusing on cultivating relationships that truly enrich your life. Reason number 7. They are self-sufficient. Stoics embody self-sufficiency, much like the iconic physicist. and philosopher Albert Einstein, who once said, "I am truly a lone traveler and have never belonged to my country, my home, my friends, or even my immediate family, with my whole heart." This sense of autonomy is central to Stoic philosophy, which teaches that the greatest strength comes from relying on oneself. Stoicism encourages individuals to find contentment within themselves rather than seeking it through possessions, status, or even companionship. By cultivating an inner reserve of moral and emotional independence, Stoics ensure that their happiness and peace are not contingent on external circumstances or the presence of others. This self-reliance can sometimes be interpreted as aloofness or a lack of interest in forming relationships, when, in fact, it is a deep-seated preference for meaningful interactions that do not compromise one's self-governance. Consider the example of a self-made entrepreneur who builds a business from scratch. Their journey of self-sufficiency not only demands resilience, but also teaches them to value their own counsel above others. Stoics operate similarly, focusing on developing personal virtue and inner wealth. How often do you rely on external validation to feel satisfied or successful? Could fostering a greater sense of self-sufficiency enrich your life? Stoic's path of self-sufficiency teaches us the power of being self-reliant. I encourage you to share your experiences in the comments below. Have you found greater personal peace by cultivating independence in your thoughts and actions? Let's discuss how embracing a Stoic attitude towards self-sufficiency can lead to fewer but more profound relationships. Dear friend, Stoics are known for their preference for depth over pleasantries, valuing interactions that stimulate growth and understanding over mere polite exchange. This discerning approach shapes not just their dialogues, but also their relationships. So, if you see that Stoic people often have few or no friends, it's because reason number 8, they prioritize meaningful interactions over social niceties. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes authenticity and substance in all forms of communication. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, once remarked, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In practice, this means Stoics engage in discussions that are meaningful and conducive to personal and communal betterment rather than simply filling the air with words. Imagine a renowned scientist at a dinner party. Instead of mingling and having light conversation, they might seek out discussions about recent advancements in their field, or engage in a thoughtful debate on ethical science practices. This focus ensures that any interaction they choose to engage in has value and substance. Do superficial interactions leave you craving more meaningful connections? How often do you find yourself in conversations that truly resonate with your values? Stoics often have fewer friends, not because they shun social interaction, but because they choose their social engagements with great care. They seek out people who share their desire for meaningful dialogue and who are not afraid to delve into deeper philosophical or moral discussions. Now, do you see how Stoics cultivate rich and enduring friendships? They remind us that, in a world full of noise, choosing meaningful silence can sometimes lead to the deepest connections, giving us the most quality friends. Reason number 9. They uphold stringent ethical standards. I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed. This declaration by Marcus Aurelius encapsulates the Stoic commitment to living by uncompromising ethical standards. Stoics hold themselves to a strict moral code, which often leads to fewer but more meaningful friendships based on mutual respect and shared values. Stoics strive to embody virtues such as honesty, integrity, and courage in all their actions, often making choices that prioritize ethics over popularity. For example, consider a business leader who refuses to engage in lucrative but unethical practices despite industry norms. Their stance might cost them social or professional opportunities, but it earns them a reputation for trustworthiness and moral fortitude. This unwavering adherence to ethics can make Stoics seem rigid or inflexible, and as a result, they may not mesh well with everyone. Have you ever faced a situation where standing by your principles meant standing alone? This experience is common among Stoics, who often find that their strict standards either intimidate or alienate those with more relaxed views. Stoics teach us that the cornerstone of enduring relationships is a profound respect for shared principles and ethics. They show us that by holding steadfast to rigorous ethical standards, our friendships, though potentially fewer, become deeply rooted in mutual trust and respect. This Stoic approach to relationships, prioritizing integrity over convenience, may not yield a large circle of friends, but it ensures that those we do form bonds with truly understand and share our values. Reason number 10, they seek tranquility above all. Stoics, much like the esteemed physicist Albert Einstein, who valued serene contemplation over bustling social activity, prioritized tranquility in their lives. This pursuit often leads them to limit their social interactions to maintain a peaceful inner state. Stoicism teaches that true tranquility comes from within and is achieved by managing one's reactions to external circumstances, not by altering the circumstances themselves. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once stated, "Nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Following this principle, Stoics carefully choose their social circles, preferring the company of those who enhance their peace rather than disturb it. Consider a meditation teacher who selects a serene setting and a small group setting to conduct deep, reflective sessions. This controlled environment allows for meaningful interaction without the chaos of larger, less intimate gatherings. Do you find that quieter, more thoughtful environments enhance your well-being? Stoics often find that reducing the noise in their lives, both literally and metaphorically, allows them to focus more fully on their personal growth and philosophical pursuits. Stoics teach us that quality relationships should not compromise our inner peace, but should support and enrich it. By embracing tranquility and being selective about our interactions, we can cultivate relationships that are not only supportive, but also deeply rewarding. Reflect on how prioritizing tranquility could reshape your approach to friendships and social engagements. Could a more peaceful outlook lead to more profound and satisfying connections? When you have the answer to this question, I believe you will have great friends and great social relationships. Reason number 11. They value solitude as a means to personal development. Like the renowned writer Henry David Thoreau, who retreated to Walden Pond to find deeper meaning in life, Stoics value solitude as a crucial pathway to personal development. This philosophical stance is deeply rooted in the belief that significant growth and self-understanding arise from periods of reflection and introspection, away from the noisy of society. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, eloquently expressed, "All the greatest blessings create quietness in the soul." Embracing solitude allows Stoics to explore their thoughts, manage their emotions, and align their actions with their principles, all without the distraction of external influences. Consider the modern example of a tech entrepreneur who goes on a silent retreat to clear his mind and refocus his goals. This act of withdrawing temporarily from the busy world aids in gaining clarity and renewed purpose, much like the Stoic practice of introspection. How often do you take time to be alone with your thoughts? And what insights have you gained from these moments? Stoics teach us that solitude is not just a personal retreat, but a strategic enhancement to our relationships. By valuing quiet self-reflection, we can develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, which in turn allows us to be more present and authentic in our interactions with others. This Stoic principle suggests that the best friendships not only withstand periods of individual solitude, but are strengthened by them. Embracing solitude helps ensure that our relationships are thoughtful and intentional, fostering connections that are based on true understanding and mutual respect. Reflect on incorporating solitude into your life as a way to deepen your connections and enhance the quality of your relationships. In reflecting on the Stoic way, we find that their seemingly sparse social circles are not born of disdain, but of deliberate choice. Stoics like Seneca, who advised, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you," teach us the value of quality over quantity in our relationships. They seek tranquility, prioritize ethical standards, value deep conversations, and embrace solitude as pathways to personal growth. This wisdom encourages us to cultivate friendships that are not merely numerous, but profoundly meaningful. Let the Stoic philosophy inspire you to reassess your social bonds, urging you to cherish those few who truly enrich your life and guide you towards more genuine and fulfilling connections. If you feel inspired by today's meaningful journey with the Stoic philosophy, please like the video and leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos we share in the future. Goodbye, and see you again.